Hello and welcome to a no-cost data governance acceleration session with Ataccama, Adastra, and Microsoft. Adastra, Ataccama, and Microsoft have all been recognized by Gartner as major players in the data management space. In the words of CEO of Adastra North America, Darren Edry, we know that the only way to tackle COVID-19 is with a united front. With advanced data governance, we can help organizations regulate their data to ensure the delivery of accurate and timely information and insights, execute strategic decision making, and accelerate the development of their COVID-19 related solutions as quickly as possible. With the strong collaboration between Adastra, Ataccama, and Microsoft, we have the complementary skills and expertise required to help address this specific problem. And some of the use cases we aim to solve with this solution is, for example, tracing contact of COVID-19 patients to determine where potential spread has occurred, consolidation of data sets, validation of information, ensuring timely data is provided and has traceability resource. And having the catalog will define metadata about these data sets that define the level of data quality and trust. Another example use case would be to optimize supply chains to ensure timely delivery of personal protection equipment. And this can be done through establishing governed MDM processes and maintaining relationships and hierarchies by linking products to suppliers, to distribution, to customers, to operations and logistics across the supply chain to establish that 360-degree view. Another example use case is to assist in the collection, processing, and consolidation of testing center data for the purposes of reliable reporting in terms of forecasting and consolidating multiple data sets to provide to local authorities and agencies and validation of that information as it's sent and processed between source to target environments. Some of the challenges that might exist with the volatility is that it addresses the challenges that we are facing a lot with the data we do see. Data that is not monitored and regulated with appropriate quality elements to it is at the root of the challenges we are facing today with high volumes and high volatility. And we can relate that to the example of completeness in ensuring that critical data is captured and is not missing. The conformity in ensuring that the data upholds to certain standard and format. The consistency of the information in ensuring that the data represented is internally consistent. The validity of the information in ensuring that the data provided falls within an acceptable range and or is a part of the designated reference set. The accuracy of the information in ensuring that the data provided represents what's in the real world and can be related back to certain geographies or traced events. The timeliness of the information in ensuring that the data provided arrives in a manner in which it can provide the most up-to-date representation for analysis. Duplication of data in ensuring that the data provided isn't repeated across multiple data sets or within the same data set, skewing aggregated results. And then integrity of the information to ensure that the relationships, the hierarchies of the data provided can be of help. And of course, maintain cardinality. In collaboration with the three organizations, we will be able to provide a full package solution to assist with any COVID-19 relief activities. So while Adastra will be providing the know-how and the best practices to help deliver the solution, Microsoft Azure will be providing the infrastructure savings. Ataccama will be bringing the Ataccama technology to the table. Our technology is the full platform from the initial data discovery, understanding metadata management, moving towards data quality, and all the way through providing the full stack MDM solution under Ataccama. Of course, within the use cases that will be applicable to your organizations. For the ones who are not familiar with Ataccama, we are a self-driving data governance, and data management platform. We provide a secure portal for organizations to be able to provide data, understand the data, and ultimately consume the data that has been cleansed, validated, scored, and trusted. It is a platform that provides a full stack of AI-driven features from profiling to validation to cleansing to matching and so on and so forth. So as I mentioned before, Ataccama One is a self-driving data management and governance platform combining collaborative data stewardship, a robust data processing engine, machine learning, and multiple deployment options and enterprise-proven capabilities. We provide you with a single platform to analyze, process, manage, monitor, and provide data. As you see on the screen, the 5 areas Ataccama focuses on are data discovery and profiling, data catalog and business glossary, full stack data quality management, and master and reference data management, as well as big data processing and data integration. This particular slide here highlights the key use cases that the platform is designed to solve. So the first tier focuses on the data quality suite from initial data profiling, metadata discovery, transitioning into data quality reporting, using Ataccama as a data quality firewall to prevent bad data from entering your system. Then doing the cleansing and enrichment of your data, and then manual issue resolution if there are any bad records. Then as a data steward, you would then correct the data and provide any human intervention that may be necessary. The second tier is key use cases for master and reference data. And in today's session, the first tier is what will be essentially covered during the demonstration. So now I will jump into the Ataccama One data quality demonstration. So what you see on your screen right now is the Ataccama One web browser. And the first step in terms of working with your data would be to connect to a data source, like a database or a warehouse, or even to a cloud service like Amazon S3. Or if you want to upload an Excel spreadsheet and profile that, then you can do that as well. So you have a couple of different options here in terms of working with your data. Now, once the data has been uploaded into the Ataccama One server, data profiling process is initiated, and the profile data set is what you see here in the catalog. And for today's demonstration, I will walk you through the assessment center locations data, which has been sourced from the Ontario public domain. And the table contains information about the assessment center locations for COVID-19 in Canada. So you have an overview of some of information like the number of records and the attributes and some other information. What's worth mentioning here is that you can share the data catalog item with other members of the organization. So Jane Smith, who's the owner here, can then share this with John Taylor. And depending on any of these roles, once an invitation has been sent, data sharing is made possible. Now going to the actual profiled results, we see that the tool has been able to provide an insight into a sample of the data for each of these attributes. We see that location ID has about 6 duplicate values, location name has 7 duplicate values, city has about 3 exceptions, postal code about 11 exceptions, and so on. So these insights are quite powerful because at this level, we can understand that since the grain of the data set, or the lowest level at which we can define the data, which is the hospital level in our case, any duplicates here would mean having inconsistencies around appointment windows, number of appointments available, testing capacity, and so on. And this is on a very high level overview of the profile data set. What you can also do is do a drill through at an attribute level and analyze your data even further. So you see some general information in terms of the number of records and count of the duplicate, distinct, unique, and non-unique values here. And I would like you to view the different sections on this page here as different lenses or perspectives through which you can look at your data. So if I go to my first lens, I see for frequency analysis, The value here, system migration, seems inappropriate, as a hospital point of contact name is supposed to be one of the name of a contact person for their hospital. Also, the count here reflects the history of the data changing hands over a period of time. So this value, system migration, was probably transformed or migrated, and that's why its count is the highest, that is about 14.57% of the entire data set, which makes it the highest occurring value than the next highest occurring value. Going to the other lens, you can also view the syntactic pattern of the data and see by different combinations of letter word or a word or word, find information related to it. Also, for mask analysis, you can leverage this, and especially in a string field where you can perform analysis on anonymized data. And I would like to talk about the business term here, full name. So full name essentially falls within the personal information logical group. And this group in turn contains all the other data elements like phone number, social security, card number, etc. So the full name group is a subgroup within this main group, personal information. And I would like to again touch base on what essentially these business terms are. So essentially, these are labels, and by labels I mean the data dictionaries which have been embedded in the tool for different types of data. So there's a data dictionary for hospital name, for municipality, and for zip code. And what you can do is you can validate the values existing in a column through this comprehensive list automatically. So automatic domain detection is made possible as soon as the data is profiled, even before we get into the attribute level. So, with the amount and variety of data which is being processed by the Ataccama engine, it empowers the system to perform better automatic domain detection the next time it encounters revisited data. So right now we're talking about the COVID-19 data, but God forbid if tomorrow we need to look into an assessment center for, say, flu, then the system would be competent enough to tag the Canadian hospitals as we already have them defined within the tool. Now, the next section that I would like to talk about here is the glossary. So the business terms that I was talking about earlier, the personal information and which is in turn containing the full name, etc. So all of these, you can use them, all of these business terms here within the glossary, depending on your requirement, or you can create a new term on your own and specify the name and the definition of the business term. You can also specify the owner, who can then share this with the other members of the organization. And the important condition here would be to create an expression which would automatically connect your business term with the particular data set. And the expression here is leveraging the Ataccama expression language, which falls between Excel and SQL. So you can go ahead and create your own regular expressions here. Or if you're worried that this would get too technical, then need not worry, because we have a help library here to assist you in creating the expression for you. Now, the next step in terms of working with your profile data set is to enforce data quality rules on the attributes that you're interested in monitoring. So all the rules that already exist or are created are placed here in the rule library. And the assessment center locations data has these rules which have been created. Now, there are ways of creating a rule. One is a very simple rule where if I go to the appointment attribute, I see that the rule, in terms of creating the rule from scratch, you would need to enter the attribute and define the condition for the attribute. You also have the privilege here of testing the rule. And I can test this. If I do not give any value, it will give me an error. And giving the appropriate Boolean value, it would be a valid entry. Now, once I'm happy with the rule itself, I can then publish the changes. And it's worth mentioning here that we have an approval workflow of the rule when creating a library of the rules. And then, of course, all the changes that the users are working on are tracked and a version history is maintained. So we know we can work with these as well. Now, once the rules are in place, you can view your project, of which the configuration will look something like this. So you have you can view the attributes and the terms which have been recognized by the tool, as well as the rules applied on these attributes. And you can drag and drop the rules against the attribute that you're interested in. We also see that the tool here has been able to, through its machine learning capabilities, suggest an applicable rule for the attribute. So for example, here latitude is an input attribute for which a rule already exists in our repository. And so the tool is automatically mapping the rule as a suggestion to the attribute. Now, once the configuration has been made and set up, you can then go ahead and publish the project, after which the data quality evaluation process is initiated. And you can view the results essentially in two ways. One is a very simple report, which is giving you a very quick view of your data in terms of the valid and the invalid records, and the total number of records, as well as how many rules have been used. But if you want to do something more persistent or complex for the data owner, then you can use the Ataccama data quality dashboard view. So here you can view the aggregated data quality, the valid and the invalid records, and you can also monitor data quality over time and obtain information on trends. And of course, view the data quality checks that have been applied on the attributes that you're interested in monitoring. So for province, I see the rule itself and the reasons for invalidity. Similarly, for phone number, we see the reasons for invalidity and the conditions which have been specified in the rule. Now, depending on the permission which has been given to your user, you can drill through and view the non-compliant record sample as well, and download a CSV copy of this just to investigate a little further. Also, another key feature is that every user can define their own KPI or threshold to get immediately notified if the KPI is being met or breached. What you can do is simply use the bell notification icon here and define a condition that is relevant to you, after which you will be notified via an email or a notification. And you can also view the alerts here in the application itself. As you now have a better understanding of the data quality metrics and have successfully identified any anomalies in your data set, you can then assign the invalid records to a data steward for further investigation or manual remediation. And for this purpose, the Ataccama Data Quality Issue Tracker comes into picture. The tool offers an easy-to-use interface for data stewards in which they can resolve issues of different types, either manually or automatically. A data steward can do a couple of things here. Can filter the issue based on any of these attributes here, can switch from one state of the issue to another. And for today's demonstration, I would like to walk you through a simple cleansing scenario. So the records that fail a set of rules, that is, if the record rule is violated, then there is a module within the platform that will not only report, but also resolve the issue. So we see on the left-hand side here that the original data has errors. The appointment must be a Boolean value, whereas we have a date for it. The tool gives me an option here to correct this data, and on providing an input for appointments, I can then ask the system to validate this for me. As the error has now been fixed, I can resolve this issue on my own if I am the super user, or I can add a comment and send this to my supervisor for further assistance. I will now log in as my supervisor, who is the admin here. And we can see that the supervisor has received the issue, who can then either resolve this issue or reassign it to someone else. So the issue tracker is subject to an approval workflow process set up for activities like signing or approving the issue. Also, Data Quality Issue Tracker supports full history and versioning of the issues, maintaining both the issue traces and metadata associated with the resolution process. So with this, the demonstration is now complete. Hope you enjoyed the session. If you have any further questions or want to discuss your data challenges, please reach out to us at info@ataccama.com or by filling a form on our website, www.ataccama.com. Thank you.